Have you ever looked down at your ankles at the end of the day and wondered why they're swollen heavy or tight in your socks, almost as if your body is trying to tell you something you can't quite understand? Most people shrug it off, blaming age, salt, or a long day on their feet. But what if that small swelling was actually the first quiet warning that your kidneys are struggling far more than you think? Because here's the truth. Most Americans never hear until it's too late. Kidney damage rarely starts with pain, but it almost always starts with subtle signs that millions ignore until the situation becomes irreversible. I'm Dr. Richard Hale, and before we go any further, I need to tell you something urgent. Right now, more than 37 million Americans are living with kidney problems without knowing it, and many don't discover it until their kidneys are already functioning at less than 50%. By the time symptoms become obvious, constant fatigue, brain fog, nighttime urination, swelling in the legs, your kidneys have already been fighting a battle they're losing. And the frightening part is that this decline doesn't happen loudly. It happens slowly, silently, like a dimming light bulb you don't notice until the room is nearly dark. But here's the part that should give you hope, because you are not powerless. Today you're going to learn about 3 simple spices sitting in your kitchen right now. Spices backed by real medical research that can help your kidneys filter, better reduce inflammation, and flush out toxins your body has been holding on to for months or even years. And by the time you finish this video, you'll not only know exactly how to use them, but you'll understand the one critical daily habit that determines whether these spices actually work or fail completely. So stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change the course of your kidney health starting today. When we talk about protecting your kidneys, the very first place we need to look is the microscopic filters inside them, those fragile life nets called nephrons. They're the ones silently cleaning your blood every single minute of the day, and when they break down, everything else spirals. And this is where something incredibly simple, something sitting right in countless American kitchens, becomes far more powerful than people expect. I'm talking about Ceylon cinnamon. Not the cheap cassia powder stacked on most supermarket shelves, but the real kind, light, sweet, subtle, and packed with protective compounds your kidneys desperately need. Let me tell you a quick story. Last year, a viewer from Ohio wrote to me about her constant fatigue and ankle swelling. Her kidney function wasn't bad enough for medication, but she felt like she was slowly fading. She started adding half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to her morning oatmeal every day. 4 weeks later, she told me her energy was noticeably better, and even her doctor was surprised at how stable her blood sugar had become. Now, was cinnamon alone the miracle? Of course not, but it gave her overwhelmed nephrons a fighting chance. Here's why it matters. Modern research has shown that cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde and cameric acid, 2 bioactive compounds that neutralize the free radicals attacking your kidney tissue. A 2023 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology found that these compounds reduce oxidative stress inside kidney cells, essentially helping your filters recover instead of collapse. And for anyone dealing with diabetes or prediabetes, this becomes even more critical. High blood sugar is one of the fastest ways to destroy nephron membranes, and cinnamon helps your cells absorb glucose more efficiently, preventing those damaging spikes. It's not hype, it's physiology. But before you start shaking cinnamon all over everything, it's important to understand this. Not all cinnamon is safe. Cassia cinnamon. The darker and cheaper version contains high levels of coumarin, which can harm both your liver and kidneys if you consume it daily. Ceylon cinnamon has extremely low coumarin levels, making it the only kind suitable for long-term kidney-friendly use. And you don't need much, just half to 1 teaspoon a day, stirred into coffee, oatmeal, yogurt, tea, or a warm evening drink. Still, as powerful as cinnamon is at protecting your filters, it only solves one side of the equation. Protecting the kidneys is one thing, but clearing out the toxins already stuck inside them is something completely different. And just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor. If cinnamon acts like a shield protecting your kidney filters, then parsley is the gentle force that helps carry the waste away. And this part is critical, because protection means very little if the toxins sitting inside your kidneys have no way out. It's like repairing the walls of a house but never opening the doors or windows. You're safe on the outside, but the air inside keeps getting heavier, dirtier, more suffocating. Your kidneys feel that too, and one of the simplest ways to ease that pressure is through a natural diuretic that doesn't shock your system. That's exactly where fresh parsley comes in. A few months ago, a man named Robert from Phoenix reached out to me. He'd been dealing with constant bloating and a heavy dragging feeling in his lower back. His doctor told him his kidneys were a little stressed but not serious enough for medication. So he tried something incredibly simple, adding chopped fresh parsley to his meals every day and drinking parsley tea 3 times a week. Within just 2 weeks, he noticed something he hadn't felt in months, a sense of lightness in his body. He was urinating more regularly, his swelling went down, and that dull ache near his kidneys began fading. He described it as finally unclogging a drain that had been stuck for years. And believe it or not, his experience lines up with real science. Parsley contains flavonoids and high levels of vitamin C, both of which support antioxidant activity inside kidney tissue. A comprehensive review published in Frontiers in Medicine in late 2024 found that parsley helps reduce oxidative stress, improves renal biomarkers, and gently increases urine output without overstimulating the kidneys. When your body produces more urine in a balanced way, it carries out the toxins your filters have been catching all day long. That's how you relieve pressure, reduce inflammation, and support filtration without any harsh side effects. But here's the part most people miss. Fresh parsley works far better than dried parsley because its active compounds degrade quickly once processed. You only need 1 to 2 tablespoons a day added to salads, soups, scrambled eggs, smoothies, or brewed into a simple tea. It's not about huge doses. It's about consistency. And if you've ever struggled with swelling heaviness or cloudy urine, this gentle push might be exactly what your kidneys have been waiting for. Still, parsley alone can't solve what happens next. Getting toxins moving is powerful, but they won't go anywhere if the highways that carry blood to your kidneys are narrowed or sluggish. And just knowing this isn't enough because there's another factor. Once those toxins start moving out of your kidneys, there's another challenge most people never think about: whether your blood is actually delivering enough oxygen and nutrients to keep those kidneys working in the first place. Imagine trying to clean your house while the lights keep flickering. You can't see what you're doing, and everything takes twice as much effort. That's exactly what happens when blood flow to your kidneys slows down. They struggle, they fatigue, and over time they begin to fail. And this is where one of the most misunderstood spices in American kitchens becomes unexpectedly powerful: cayenne pepper. Years ago, I treated a retired firefighter named Dennis from Michigan. Big man, strong hands, the kind of person who never complained until things got serious. He had swelling back pressure and constant exhaustion. What surprised me most was how cold his feet always were, a sign of poor circulation. At first, he laughed when I mentioned cayenne pepper. "Doc, that stuff just burns," he said. But he agreed to try a tiny pinch daily. After 2 weeks, he returned with a smile I hadn't seen in months. He told me his feet were warm again, his swelling had eased, and he felt like his whole body had switched back on. It wasn't magic, it was blood flow. Capsaicin, the compound that gives cayenne its heat, triggers vasodilation, meaning your blood vessels open up, relax, and allow more blood to pass through. A 2024 review published in Nutrients showed that capsaicin improves renal blood circulation, reduces inflammation inside kidney tissues, and may even slow the early stages of fibrosis, the scarring that steals kidney function over time. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and more efficient filtering. It's like turning the lights back on in a room that's been dim for years. And the best part, you don't need a lot. For most people, just 1/8 of a teaspoon sprinkled into eggs, soup, vegetables, or blended into a smoothie is enough to start improving blood flow. If you're sensitive to spice, start even smaller. This isn't about heat, it's about healing. Still, even with better circulation, your kidneys can't flush out toxins effectively if one simple element is missing. And this next factor determines whether everything we've talked about so far succeeds or collapses. And just knowing this isn't enough because there's another factor. Even with the right spices protecting your filters, clearing toxins, and restoring blood flow, your kidneys can only go so far without the daily habits that keep them functioning at full strength. Because long-term healing isn't just about what you add to your plate, it's about what you repeat every single day. And that's where these three powerful habits step in to transform everything. After protecting your filters with cinnamon, clearing out toxins with parsley, and boosting circulation with cayenne pepper, there's one deceptively simple habit that decides whether all of those efforts deliver real results or fall flat. And that habit is proper hydration. Not just drinking water, but drinking it in a way that your kidneys can actually use. Because for your kidneys, water isn't optional background noise. It's the very thing that allows waste to leave your body instead of settling deeper into your bloodstream and tissues. I remember a patient named Linda from North Carolina, a warm-spirited grandmother in her late 60s. She did everything right. She sprinkled cinnamon on her breakfast, added parsley to her salads, and even braved a pinch of cayenne in her soups. But she still woke up groggy, swollen, and exhausted. She told me, "Dr. Hale, I'm doing everything you said, but nothing is changing." When I asked about her hydration, she smiled proudly and said, "Oh, I drink 8 cups every night before bed, so I don't forget." That's when everything clicked. Her kidneys were being flooded at the worst possible time and starved when they needed water most. We changed one simple habit, one full glass of water 30 minutes before each meal, then steady sipping from late morning through the afternoon, never chugging, never forcing. Within a single week, her nighttime urination nearly disappeared. Her ankles stopped ballooning. Her energy rose. And she said something I'll never forget: "I didn't realize I was drowning my kidneys at night and starving them during the day." Her experience mirrors what medical research has confirmed again and again. Your kidneys rely on a consistent flow of water to carry waste molecules out. Too little water and the waste gets reabsorbed. Too much water at once and your electrolytes crash. But a slow, steady rhythm. That's when filtration works at its highest efficiency. Most kidney specialists recommend drinking roughly half your body weight in ounces of water every day. So a 160-pound person aims for around 80 ounces spread throughout the day. Add lemon for antioxidants, cucumber for minerals, or mint for flavor. Small details, big impact. But hydration is only the first pillar of the daily rhythm your kidneys need. Because even when your water intake is perfect, your kidneys can still struggle if your blood flow stagnates and your muscles stay idle for too long. And just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor. Even with perfect hydration, your kidneys still depend on something far more physical: steady, gentle movement. Because when you sit for hours, your circulation slows to a crawl. Waste products accumulate, and your kidneys receive less blood than they need to function. Think of it like a river feeding a lake. When the river slows, the lake becomes cloudy, stagnant, and eventually toxic. Your kidneys feel that exact same stagnation. And the simplest way to restart the flow is through light, consistent movement. One of my favorite success stories comes from a retired engineer named Mark in Colorado. He wasn't overweight. He ate clean. He hydrated well. But he told me he spent almost his entire day sitting, reading, checking emails, watching TV, and working on small woodworking projects. His creatinine slowly crept up year after year, and his doctor warned him that he was on the edge. When he reached out to me, I asked him one question: "How many minutes a day do you spend moving?" He laughed and said, "Doc, maybe 3. That was the moment everything clicked. We didn't start with intense exercise, no gym, no treadmill, nothing overwhelming. Just 10 minutes of slow walking after each meal and 2 minutes of standing or stretching every hour. That's it." Within 5 weeks, his swelling decreased, his energy noticeably improved, and his blood work showed something incredibly encouraging: his creatinine stopped rising. He told me I didn't realize my kidneys were starving for movement, and science agrees. Studies from the National Kidney Foundation show that light movement, especially post-meal walking, reduces glucose spikes, improves blood flow to the kidneys, and lowers inflammation markers. Even simple heel raises or slow leg marches help activate the calf muscles, also known as the second heart, which pump blood upward and relieve pressure from the kidneys. You don't need high intensity. You don't need long workouts. You just need consistency. Try this walk for 10 minutes after breakfast and lunch. Stand up every hour and move for 2 minutes. Stretch before bed to improve nighttime circulation. These tiny habits compound faster than people imagine. But even when movement becomes a daily rhythm, your kidneys still need one final layer: a clear, actionable plan that ties everything together so your efforts aren't scattered or inconsistent. Once hydration becomes a steady rhythm and gentle movement brings life back into your circulation, The final step is creating a simple daily plan, something clear, repeatable, and powerful enough to tie everything together. Because your kidneys don't just respond to one big change. They respond to what you do consistently. Think of this plan as the blueprint that tells your body we're healing now every single day. One of the most inspiring examples comes from a viewer named Teresa from Florida. She was overwhelmed by the idea of improving her kidneys. Too many rules, too many warnings, too much fear. She told me, Dr. Hale, I don't even know where to start anymore. So I helped her create a simple, realistic daily rhythm, something she could follow without stress. It looked like this: half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon with her morning oatmeal, a tablespoon of fresh parsley at lunch, a tiny pinch of cayenne with dinner, 1 glass of water, 30 minutes before meals, 10 minutes of walking afterward, and stretching before bed. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated, just a rhythm. 3 weeks later, she emailed me with a message so heartfelt I'll never forget it. For the first time in years, I feel like my kidneys aren't failing. I feel like they're fighting back. Her energy was returning, her swelling was down, her sleep improved, and her labs showed small but meaningful signs of progress. And the truth is, she didn't do anything magical. She just repeated the right things every day. Science strongly backs this approach. Kidney researchers have found that when anti-inflammatory foods, hydration timing, and light movement are paired together daily, inflammation markers drop and filtration improves more predictably. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Your body loves rhythm, your kidneys especially. So here's the daily plan. I give most patients cinnamon in the morning, parsley in the afternoon, cayenne with dinner water before meals, movement after meals, and a gentle stretch before bed. Do this rhythm for 30 days and your kidneys will feel the difference long before your next blood test proves it. But even a perfect plan can fall apart if one deeper truth is missing: the emotional reason you're choosing to heal in the first place. Because knowledge alone never changes a life unless it becomes a commitment. Your kidneys work quietly, tirelessly, and without complaint, filtering your blood hundreds of times a day just to keep you alive. And the truth is, most people don't realize how strong their kidneys are until the moment they begin to struggle. But if you've made it this far into the video, it tells me something important. You're not waiting for things to get worse. You're choosing to understand your body, to take small steps that build into something powerful, and to protect the future version of yourself who deserves a healthier, easier, more energetic life. So here's my encouragement to you. Don't underestimate the impact of the simple habits we talked about today. A teaspoon of cinnamon, a handful of parsley, a pinch of cayenne, steady hydration, gentle movement, and a daily rhythm. These aren't complicated changes. They're acts of self-care, acts of prevention, acts of staying in control of your health rather than letting fear make decisions for you. And if this video has helped you understand your kidneys even a little better, do yourself a favor, save it. Keep it somewhere you can come back to whenever you need a reminder or a push forward. And if you want more clear, trustworthy, science-based kidney health guidance, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications. I share new kidney protection strategies every week, and I don't want you to miss anything that could make a real difference in your life or the life of someone you care about. Because the truth is, kidney health isn't about perfection. It's about awareness, it's about consistency, and it's about hope, real practical hope grounded in the choices you make every single day. Your kidneys aren't giving up on you, and you don't have to give up on them either. You have more power than you think, and your healing can begin with the very next choice you make. Stay strong, stay informed, and take care of yourself.